Hi, boys and girls and parents. It's Miss Rye here, and I have some really exciting news to tell you. For the first time ever, we are going to be able to do AR at home. And that is so exciting. We've never been able to do that before, but due to the circumstances, the district today has launched out the AR availability to have at your house. It's always only been able to be done at school, but now, boys and girls, it's more important than ever that they keep reading. So to help motivate and give them some reading comprehension practice, we are launching the AR availability at home. So I'm going to go through a video today. It's going to be a little long, so I hope you'll stick with me and try to answer as many questions as I can about AR and your child being able to do it at home. So first of all, I'm going to kind of split this screen and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. So hang on with me for just a minute. When you do the AR, okay, you're going to be able to go to Class Links, and your child will know how to do this. You've been going to Class Links, and just cancel through that. You will look for the R for Renaissance right here, and your child will read a book at home. Okay, or listen to a book. We're going to talk about different places where you can find books. If you don't have books at your house, then we're going to go over with different places where you can get books so that you can read and then do AR, or listen and do AR. There's tons of people reading books online right now due to the circumstances of us doing distant learning. There's the Tumble books. I'm going to show you all of that in just a minute. But for when your child, after they've read a book, okay, and they're ready to take a quiz, kind of test what they read to make sure they read it correctly and they understood what they read. It's called comprehension. Then they would go here to the R, and most first and second graders definitely know how to do this. Kindergarten, most of them will recognize it once you start. So we'll go here, but I'm going to switch off. You're going to see this, okay, once you click on your child's name. I'm using Jordan today. His mom graciously said I could borrow his account to show you this because my screen, as you saw just a second ago, looks a lot different. So when you get to this screen, you're going to see here some different places here, and then you're going to see kind of a history of his quizzing. There's a little house up here where you can click to go to this home page at any time. And you're only going to be using these in orange. Pretty much, you're only going to be using this right here, okay? Take a quiz. So let's say I read a book, I've taken the quiz, or I'm ready to take a quiz on the book, so I would go to the Class Links page, I would go to the R, and then I would click here. Boys and girls, listen. None of you have levels set anymore. So we have opened it wide open, so you don't think, oh no, but I can't take that book right now because I'm a 2.5 to a 3.5 reading level. They know what I'm talking about. We have opened that completely up because we understand that you don't have full libraries, most of you at your house. So we, at this point, aren't worried about what level they're reading as much as they're reading. We want them reading and practicing so that they keep up the practice and they stay on top of the reading habits, okay? So they're going to go here to take a quiz after they've read a book. Doesn't matter about their level right now. We're not worried about that. When you get to this screen, okay, you're going to see where it says here, title, author, or quiz number. When you get to this screen, at school, when we have the library books, inside every book, we have a quiz number, okay? Now, at your house, you probably don't have quiz numbers written in your books, okay? Tumble Books isn't, sometimes they might give you a quiz number, I can't remember exactly, but you're probably going to be more going from book titles unless somebody gives you a quiz number, okay? So this one I'm going to look at, I'm going to actually do this one, is Do Princesses Really Kiss Frogs? So you would type it here, and it's really important that you spell the words correctly, or it may not find the book because it's very sensitive to that, even the punctuation, okay? So here we go. I click search, and then you'll see that this book is the same as the one that you see on your screen here. Now be careful because sometimes it'll have the book in English and the quiz in Spanish. Make sure you click, if you've read it in English, then you need to click the English, okay? So if you only speak Spanish at home, but the book's probably been in English, or maybe you have a Spanish copy, then by all means, if your family, you can do that. But otherwise, make sure you pick the correct one, excuse me. So we clicked Take Quiz. Now, this popped up, and I'm so thankful it did. This is Jordan's page, and it says that Jordan is not allowed to retake a quiz on this book. So, if your student, your child, has taken a quiz on a particular book already, then they're not going to be able to retake a quiz. So it's going to pop up this screen, and I'm so thankful that this popped up. So what that means is that they have already taken a quiz on the book, and they will not be allowed to take another quiz on that book. Okay? So we're going to have to find another book. So we would click here, find another book, and I'm going to try another one. And I see that my battery is going dead, so please wait just a second. Let me plug in my computer really quick, because I don't want you to lose me. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so now we're going to do Silly Tilly, okay? So I'm going to type in, this is where you would put the quiz number if you had it, but I don't think you're probably going to have very many of them, so you would put in the quiz or the title of the book, and you click search. These here are all ideas for you, and you're not really worrying about that's not that, if you have those, that's fine, but they're not going to read them to you. So you'll search, and then here you're going to take a quiz. So Jordan would click on Take a Quiz. It tells you here the quiz number, now that you're already in the book level, but you would click Take a Quiz. Once you click Take a Quiz, I'm going to just show you what it looks like. Here it's going to say, I was read to. If you're in kindergarten and you're reading to your child, then you're going to click this one. If we read the book together, you're going to click this one. If you read it all, the child read it all by themselves, they're going to click this one. So let's just pretend. And then start the quiz. Some books may have 3 questions. Some quizzes have 5. This is 1 out of 5. Some have 10, if maybe it's like a chapter book, like a Magic Treehouse book, which are great ones too to do. So then they would answer the questions, and then it's going to give them a score. Okay? I'm actually going to come out of this because I want to show you something else. Okay? I wanted to show you some of the things that you could look at. So when you're looking to see if your child already took a quiz, you maybe could look right here. This is called the bookshelf. This shows you all the books that your child has taken anytime they've been in school. So if they're in 2nd grade, it'll go all the way back to when they were in 1st grade in kindergarten. You would just keep going back to this next button. You would go back and back and back. You can go previous, and go through. Progress kind of shows you, you know, how many points they have. And if you look here, they'll eventually fill their flowers up. So, but anytime you want to go back to the main page and look for a quiz, you would just go back to the reading page. Okay. Now, there was a little confusion on the possibly that the teacher sent out. It said something about maybe using a username or password. You do not need to use a username and password as long as you go, which we want you to do, through class links. Okay. The username and password it's talking about is if you were going to do Home Connect, which Home Connect is something that we would use if your child is at school and you don't have the availability to know how they're doing at home. We've sent paperwork home on that this year already. Some parents do use the Home Connect, but since they're going to be doing AR right now at your house, you really don't need to know or use a Home Connect. You can look right there on that bookshelf and it would tell you. Okay? So how about we say, Miss Rye, we don't have a lot of books at our house. Well, then let's use whatever we can. Okay? Let's make the best of this. So maybe you need to use Tumble Books. So this is back on that class links page. So you would go to Tumble Books, and we go right here, and there's tons and tons and tons and tons of stories. Now, before they can listen to them. It's not going to hurt if they listen to one and then they put the title in, and it might say, this is not an AR quiz or AR book. There's no quiz for this. That's okay. It just means you can't take a quiz on it. But it doesn't hurt that you read the book or you listened to the book online. Okay? But one way you can check to see, let's say you have a bookshelf full of books at your house and you want to know before you read them which ones are AR. If that's the case, then you can go to the Polk County School Board webpage. And if you go to this Students tab right here, and you slide across to Online Resources, when you go to Online Resources, and you scroll down right here, you're going to see where it says AR Book Finder. When you click on that, let's pretend you have some books on your bookshelf, and you want, before you read them, you want to know if they're AR, okay? Then you would type the titles in right here. Like, let's say I just typed in that Silly Tilly. Let's say I didn't know if it was AR. Silly Tilly and the Easter Bunny. If I didn't know if it was AR, I could look it up before I went to take the quiz. You can't take a quiz from this page. You have to go back to your class links page. But here's where you can check to see what books are AR. So I could click here, and it would tell me right here, Silly Tilly, and there's the quiz number. So you can do it. It tells you the level, but like I said, we're not worrying about levels right now. Your kids, your students, children, they might say, yeah, but my level, Miss Castillo, or kindergarten hasn't said them, but you know, Miss Avery or Miss Kelson or Miss Caesar said my level is this. We have cleared all those levels right now, so you can take a book quiz on any level book. Okay, we just want you reading. That's the most important thing. All right, so let's look back one more time. So when you go to your device and you're logged in, you go to Class Links, and you get right out of here. You can cancel that if it'll listen to you. Mine's not listening to me, friends. There it goes. And then you would go to the R, and when you get there, your screen is going to look like this, okay? It's going to have your name up here, not Jordan's name, okay? And then that's where you would be able to type in the title of a book. After you've read it, you can read them together. You can read them, your child can read them by themselves. But the goal is for you to help your child read the book, and then your child to answer the questions on their own. Okay, you can read the questions to them in the quiz, but you want to help with as little assistance as they can. You want them doing the reading and them doing the thinking, because that's what's going to help them become a better reader, not if you sit and do it all for them. Okay, so you kind of want to baby step them off. So you might start by helping them with every other word or the words they don't know, and hopefully just keep that practice up, because in this time when we're at home, we want them to keep reading, because the more that you do something, the better you become. It's kind of like, think about you as, let's say you're a runner, or you want to start running. You don't just go out and run a marathon. You have to practice at it. And reading is the same thing, okay? You have to do it a little at a time, but you get better and better the more you do it. If you lay off of it, if you don't go out and run for 2 weeks, then when you go out and run again, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So the more you practice reading, the better it's going to be. So keep them engaged in books, whether it's through Tumble Books, books in your house. There's going to be YouTube videos out there for books. I'm going to be reading books. Your teachers are sharing books. Whatever you can do to get them reading, and hopefully we can do some shout outs. Miss Rad's going to be watching the reports to see who's doing the AR, and we'll be doing some shout outs and some different things to help kind of motivate and recognize the boys and girls that are really engaging in the AR and reading, and we can see their progress. So we're super excited about this. We were hoping they would do this for us, and so we're just so excited. And most importantly, we want you to be safe. but we also want you to be reading so that you keep those brains engaged and you keep practicing